So, I'm going to start over because I think my mic might have been muted. But what I was saying was, thank you everyone for supporting us. This is our second stream, and it's just been such a great experience for us. Not only you guys, but everyone who supports us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. It's just been quite a ride. Heavens, Allyssa didn't even have a TikTok account 7 days ago, and today we've got almost 700 followers. So we're only 300 followers away from being able to live stream on TikTok, and we know that that's the most convenient for some of you, and so that'll be a good moment, a big moment for us to be able to do that. We know that that's important. So thank you for all of that support. So I'm Allyssa. This is my beautiful wife, Andrea. Now, I live as a girl only half of the time. I've just left my corporate career to explore a whole new life. And so I've lived my life mostly as Kevin. And so when I'm dressed as a boy, which I will be on this streaming sometimes, I go by Kevin, and when I'm dressed, I go by Allyssa. And I know that's going to be confusing to a lot of you. But the bottom line is just however somebody is presenting, just refer to them as that masculine or feminine, presence. So today I'm Allyssa, and I'm going to be transforming. In front of you, I will talk about some experiences that we've had over the last 25 years. And perhaps some of our kids may join us if they get home from work in time and get over here. So we always welcome them. We've got 3 beautiful kids and even a grandchild, and we'd like to introduce all of them to you at some point. But that'll be fun. So, last stream, we've only had one other stream, and I talked so much that I didn't get the makeup done, nor get to even put my wig on to show anybody, but for more than just a minute or two, because I talk so much. So today I'm going to try to do the makeup a lot sooner, so I can get my wig on a lot sooner, and then have the conversations more Allyssa and Kevin, and that's going to be more fun for me anyway. So please, if you have comments, please ask those questions and say those comments, because they're very valuable to us. We'd like to know what's on your mind. We'd like to know what concerns you. We'd like to help at least think about some of the questions that are important to you, and help us understand your specific situation. And we don't know all the answers. We might not know any answers, but we can add perspective, and then every perspective is good for something, right? You're either going to go towards it or away from it, and hopefully it will help clarify some of your own thoughts so you can support your own people, especially if your own people is you. That could be a hard battle to fight when you feel like you're in it all alone, and we're here to tell you you're not in it all alone. And so we want to open this community up to everybody who has curiosity and genuine concern for the issue. But we don't want all of the issues to be about gender either. We want to talk about a lot of the important issues that are out there to everybody. So anyway, I'm going to start doing my makeup, and we thought that today, we've been married 25 years, and probably a lot of our conversations, a lot of people wouldn't even consider those going on. That's probably not the conversations that are going on in very traditional marriages and traditional families. But we maybe talk about some of the things that go on that we have to talk about that are our reality, that may surprise you or not surprise you, but they're real either way. And maybe we can address some serious topics along the way as well. But I'm gonna start putting on some foundation, and today I won't be really talking about the makeup much. Again, I'm not very good at makeup. It's only been 1 week that I've been a civilian and really got to start dabbling in my craft, and I'm on my way to mastering my craft. And so that's why I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here for every step of it, to not only give me support, but maybe some tips, some advice, some encouragement, some rah-rah, whatever it is that you feel like you're comfortable doing, I'm comfortable receiving. Unless it's mean-spirited, then I'm less about that, but it shouldn't be. There's a lot of differences. Gender is a very passionate topic for most people, and I kind of feel like I understand it differently because I've walked in both worlds for so long. I feel like my perspective is a little broader than some, maybe more biased than some, but I feel like I understand a pretty wide range of the emotion surrounding that, and I'd like to talk about those things and maybe put some vocabulary or some ideas to some of those issues and topics. So I'm going to just quickly start putting on my makeup, so the quicker I do, the quicker I can get a wig on, and the quicker we can, sit and talk about whatever it is that's important to you. So, Andrea and I were talking today. I'm just going to turn this. We were talking today about we were on a trip. We were headed towards California. I can't remember if we were going to Vegas or California, but we stopped.
We were talking about this today. This didn't happen today.
Yeah, this didn't happen today. I'm sorry, but we were talking about today. We were talking about a situation that happened a while ago while we were traveling, and then I'll catch you up on that conversation. So a while ago when we were traveling, we were at a gas station. And there was a long line for the restrooms, for the girls' restroom, and there was no line for the men's. Of course, I was dressed as Kevin. I went right in, but I came back out and I was at the register and I was watching all these ladies standing in line, and it dawned on me as my wife comes up and I said, "You know what, hon? I think even when I'm dressed, I'm going to start just using the men's restroom now, because no one knows. I just go in, I go out." I'm not making anybody aware. I'm not bringing anything to the forefront. I'm not creating any conversations or any dialogue to kind of break people into this. Maybe if I just always used the men's restroom. Now, I thought, what you need to know is when we're out and I need to use the restroom, my wife always says, "Oh my gosh, that's great. Let's go. I have to go too. This is perfect." We get up, we go together always. A lot of times we're holding hands. As we go in, she just grabs my hand and we just go, and it's very easy. But I always think, some of these people must know. Some of these people must see that I'm not a real girl, and if nothing else, we're holding hands when we're going in. And I thought, wow, that must be very, very uncomfortable for her. And but she never makes it uncomfortable for me ever, right? We just go in and we just do our business and we just leave. So I'm telling her, hey, I think I'm just going to go in and start using the men's restroom even though I'm dressed. And I thought that she was going to react by going, "Oh, good, I don't have to endure that anymore." I felt like I was letting her off the hook just a little bit, right? It's like I said, "Okay, hon, we're going to have this many uncomfortable experiences tonight. I'll take the bathroom uncomfortable experiences out of the equation, so at least you don't have to deal with that." And I felt like that would probably have been a lift to her, and said, "Okay, yeah, if you're comfortable doing that, then you go do that and whatnot," is what I thought was going to happen. But I tell her that, my intentions, and she said, "What? Are you crazy? There's no way you're doing that. That's not even a thing. There's no way you're doing that." And I go, "What? Why?" And she said, "How long? How long do you think it's going to be before something terrible happens in there? Somebody who's had a bad experience, or was curious, or knew someone that got hurt by somebody, or you don't know what's going on. But how long before? Is it going to be 1 month? Is it going to be 1 week? Is it going to be 1 year? But at what point are you going to put yourself in a situation that's terrible for you and terrible for our family? Are you really going to jeopardize, your stability and the family security to prove to everybody that, to start a conversation?" She says, "No, you're not going in there. 100% you're not." And I was blown away. And I went, "Well, number one, I think it's cute that you don't feel like I can defend myself. I feel very, very capable of defending myself against most people." And she said, "Can you? Can you really? When's the last time you fought somebody in heels? When's the last time you fought someone in heels? In really tight pants or a pencil skirt? When's the last time you knocked somebody out with a full set of nails that you can't even make a fist? When's the last time you knocked somebody out like that? Or what's that going to do to your own hand? How? It's not that you don't want to. It's not that in a different scenario with different dress, different situation you couldn't. But in that moment, are you really going to risk that? For what? What is the value in that?" And one of the interesting things was, that our daughter was in the back seat. At that time, I don't know, she was 12, 13 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a couple of years ago, right? And we had just told her about the transgender thing, and this was actually one of the very first conversations we were having about this in front of her. But I didn't know that it was going to be this. I thought it was going to be just a really quick conversation. Hey, I think I'm going to do this. Okay, sounds good. Let me know if you think differently later. I thought it was just done like that. And I didn't know it was going to go there. So, I'm arguing a little bit like, hey, I can defend myself. I need to do this. Do you see that? And even my daughter at one point leans forward in the back seat, and I wasn't sure if she was listening or not, and says, something like, Dad, stop. It's not safe. Why don't? It's not safe. And I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was, on my wife's side. And I remember that because I'm like, oh my goodness, is there, I thought that I was saving her some uncomfortable moments going into the bathroom. But the reality is I'm setting her up for some much, much more difficult moments every time I go in the other bathroom and she's waiting outside to see what kind of condition I come out in and what that must feel like. And I could hear in her voice the fear, or at least the concern, and how strongly against that she felt. And I hadn't considered that really until that moment, and these are things, to consider, when we're making laws about which bathroom to go into and whatnot. These stories are a trans person molest. Those stories aren't out there. Those stories, there's it's always some old creepy guy who's never ever expressed any gender identity issues, who's in a dress doing weird things to, it's never somebody who's trying to just live their life doing weird things. And I'm thinking now, well, what's the danger the other way? So if I had to go in, so right now my wife is saying, look, don't do that. You're putting us in a bad situation, and it's your choice. But I started thinking, gosh, what if it wasn't my choice? Yeah, and I may be able to defend myself. I'm pretty sure I could defend myself, but could everybody? Could every trans person, are they in a position physically or mentally to defend themselves from whatever they're going to come across? And I understand the dads. I'm one of the dads. I don't want creepy people in with my wife. I don't want creepy people in with my daughters. I'm that dad, right? And there comes a point where you're weighing, well, hold the phone. There's all these tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of transgender people out there already coming and going that I don't know about. Have my people been in danger up till now? Is this something that I've ever feared? Now, they've been happening. The difference is I didn't know what was going on. And now it's becoming more aware. Now I at least know what's going on. So if we make this rule that says, hey, if you were born a boy, and you have to use this bathroom regardless of how you're dressed or how you're built now, what do we set some of these people up for? And I know it's not you. You're going, hey, I don't care either way. I get that. But other guys. The trauma. The tragedy. Everyone trying to figure themselves out. And it's going to put people in bad situation. I'm not saying, I don't know what the answer is. I prefer to use a restroom in private. I prefer that there be a restroom available that I can go into where nobody's, worrying about me being in there with their wife or their daughters, and I just get to do my business and I just get to leave. But, that would be best. But that's not always an option. So many times I have to choose the boys or the girls, and wherein lies the most damage. Wherein lies the least amount of risk to my family, right? I know what my intentions are, and what I don't know is everybody's intentions who's already in the men's restroom, or what they've gone through, what their life experiences are, or what they expect from me, right? You don't ever expect stuff from other people in the bathroom until you walk in a dress, and all of a sudden everybody has expectations of you. What are you doing here? What's your purpose? What do you want? How do I get you out? How do I make a statement? And it's a bummer to have to defend yourself or defend why you're in a certain room. I just need to use the bathroom, and if I could leave without a black eye, that would be better for me. But if we have to scrap to keep even worse things from happening, okay. But it's a tough situation. I'm not trying to give policy one way or the other. I'm simply saying that these are conversations that not every marriage has. That's all. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to that at all?
Yeah, it's a little bit on the side of if I come in contact or with somebody who is trans in the bathroom, of course, I'm biased, but I try to make a point to make eye contact and let them know I'm okay with them. But I also want to compliment them and basically give them a high five. I'm not going to in the bathroom, but that's what I want to do and say, hey, we're proud of you for going out and uh, being you and being comfortable to do things that are just daily activities that everyone else gets to do all the time. And once you let them know that you're okay, you're gonna see that you're gonna change their day. They're gonna be happy. They're gonna not be scared to use the bathroom anymore. At least maybe next time. And encourage it in a way. If you don't use your words, just give them a smile, and they should be able to do what they need to do in the bathroom as well.
So that's a great point. Recently we went to a casino with some of our most special friends, and I was dressed, and we went to an okay restaurant, and we need to go to the bathroom, and so my wife and one of my friends and I went into the ladies' room, and there was an attendant in there who was just attending the restroom, and she no doubt knew, and she was so sweet, and she gave me a nice compliment, about my shoes. She said, "Hey, you have really, really cute shoes." So she could have said nothing, and that would have been okay. But instead, she said, "Hey, I know." To me, it felt like, I know, and I just want you to know that I'm okay with it. And here's a compliment to prove that I'm okay with you being you, and who you are doesn't challenge me, and cute shoes. She probably didn't really like the shoes. In my mind, she just liked the person and just said, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm okay." And I felt great. I felt great about the shoes too, by the way. But it wasn't this terrible traumatic situation. It was a beautiful situation that this sweet little lady in the casino, she helped make the rest of my night. So between her and my unbelievable friends and my wife, it was a magical night. And it's funny how these little things in the bathroom, it can change it one way or the other and make a big difference. And it can for every person. And, that's just a reality of where we are. It's just a thing. So as we're voting and we're making these rules, we just need to really assess, hey, where is the damage? Where is the damage really? And is it easier just to create a bathroom that, has privacy, as opposed to exposing, so many people to dangers and biases and, all that kind of stuff? Who knows? These are tough questions, but they're tough questions, but they're real conversations. That's the bottom line, right, babe?
Yeah. And it's, as women, we kind of have it easy because I could be in line for the girls' restroom and the men's restroom be open. If I have to go, I hurry and run in and go. There's never been a guy outside the restroom or go in, because it's a single stall. Obviously, I can walk it and go in by myself, but they're not, if I come out of their bathroom, they're not mad that I'm there. And I just, feel bad for the situation that the transgender community is in because it is pretty biased, and hopefully we can get it to where everyone's happy and everyone's included and nobody gets their feelings hurt or offended.
Thanks, babe, for saying that, and thank you for your support and always being so supportive of me when I use the bathroom. You know, it is very. I have an unfair advantage for sure. There's no doubt about that. You know, and it's not always about. Um, yes, it's good to be fair. You know, it's good to be fair, but it's not about feelings. You know, safety has to come first, and that's what makes these situations, these conversations, so difficult because safety looks different to different people in different certain situations, and what is the safest thing to do for everybody involved. These are tough questions, but they're hard questions, and it's good to have this conversation anyway, so at least when people are voting on them and at least discussing them, they can have multiple perspectives to weigh things against, and see which one holds more true. I guess you really, so many times you have to decide which one of these options does the least amount of damage, which one, and you got to go with that. And then I get it, there's always casualties of policy, there's always casualties of business, but what's the fewest casualties? What does that look like? I think, and these are angles I think we really got to consider, because I do believe if I just started using the men's restroom all of the time when I'm dressed, at some point there is going to be something substantial that's going to happen. Words are going to get said. Someone's going to push me something, and I'm always going to feel like I have the right to defend myself. I'm going to feel like I always will have the right to stand up for me, and it's going to make things escalate. And the only way not to do that is to cower down and let them abuse me in some way, if it's not verbally or physically or whatever. So I don't know. I just feel like me going into restrooms now dressed, it feels like I'm looking for conflict. I'm looking for abrasion. Is how it would feel to me at this point. So anyway, tough deals. Hun, has there ever been any restroom issues that really you were like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Anything that's really scared you at all?
Not necessarily scared, but I was nervous the first time going in with you, only because I felt like I needed to protect you and to make sure that, I'm going in first, I'm checking the scene, I'm making sure there's a stall that I can be right next to. And so those are some of the things that I think about going in, and always having a smile on my face as well, because you don't want anyone to feel any kind of tension, especially in this situation. And I don't, we've been very fortunate, but we also haven't gone out very often. And when we do go out, it's usually with our trans community. So we're all going in together, and we're protecting each other as we all go in, so we've been very fortunate. And I've heard lots of scary stories about, bathrooms, not physical or anything like that, but just nerve-wracking, and, people asking, why are you in here? And, why not? Bathroom.
You're here to do some bathroom business, and I'm just trying to choose between the lesser evils, I guess. So yeah, these are tough situations, in locker rooms and schools and sports. All of these things they're just hard conversations to have, especially when it's such a difficult subject and such little vocabulary and understanding. And one of the things that makes this such a difficult thing to understand is because there's just such a variety of experiences out there. So you hear this experience from this transgender person, which seems in conflict with what this other transgender person said, and so all of a sudden you start to weigh them against each other and go, wait, something's not lining up. Well, yeah, it's because it's two different lives you're talking about. They're two different experiences, or two different perspectives, or two different needs, and so you're hearing multiple perspectives and realities with the same subject, and it can be confusing. It can be confusing. That's like saying, well, just tell me what the common denominator is of people with diabetes. Oh my gosh, we're just gonna lump everybody in, and we're gonna give them a title. We're gonna figure out what's legal for them. We're gonna make all these decisions because all these people, you know, have diabetes. I mean, the reality is, there's transgenders. It's really easy to understand if you just think in terms of there's a masculine energy and there's a feminine energy, and everybody's going to live their life in one of those. And transgender is someone who says, hey, I was born a boy or a girl, but the energy, the switches that were turned on inside of me, I was built to live this other energy. This other energy is what's going to motivate me. This is the frequency that I'm going to move about this world in, because that's the frequency that's healthy for me. That's the frequency that and the rhythm that is more congruent for the cadence of my life, for the interest, for all of the things that feel important to me, is of this feminine energy or of this masculine energy. If you're a trans man, that's all. It has nothing to do with who you sleep with or what your sexual ambitions are, anything like that. It's just, hey, you got offered, this is your kingdom. You got a king's throne, you got a queen's throne. Just pick one. Pick whichever one you want, and just let that represent you. Well, if you're a boy and you pick up the queen crown, that's the energy that you feel you're best equipped with. That's all. Hey, my best chance of survival is defending this crown. This is the crown that I need to defend. This is the best chance of my survival. That's all. Has nothing to do with the bathroom. Has nothing. This is my best chance of survival with the switches that were turned on for me, whether that be emotional or physical or no, it doesn't. Whatever, for whatever reason it is, it's I need to live this energy, it's either masculine energy or feminine energy, and those two energies, they make the world go round, right?
Hello, Bahusafu. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm jealous you guys are eating chicken while you watch.
Uh-huh.
We have a question. What's the most interesting experience you guys have had together while out with Allyssa? Well, for me, it was we went out together. We were in Vegas, and we were just gonna have a fun time, a date night with Andrea and Allyssa, and it was interesting to see people look at us, because it was the first time I kind of make eye contact with people just to make sure that Alyssa's going to be okay as we walk around. And this time I was looking and seeing people's responses. And as I was watching people, there were so many encouraging people that would come up to us and say, hey, good on you guys, and we're proud of you, and high-fiving us, and these big guys who are all together in the casino are coming up and just telling us how cool it was. And it made it easier, maybe because we were in Vegas, but also the fact that we were being encouraged by strangers, it made it just really fun to look back on the experience, and because it was just so fun to be on a date and hug and kiss, and people were stopping and watching, and it was fun. That was not necessarily interesting, but it was really fun to see people's reactions.
Yeah, is this at the Paris Hotel?
Yeah.
You know what? That's what came to my mind too. When the question was asked, that's exactly what came to my mind too. We're part of this thing called house seats, and so when there's leftover shows, when there's shows in Vegas that don't have any, they have a lot of seats still available. Then if you're a member of this, if you have this membership, then you can go and you can watch this show for free. And so we just said, well, what's available? So we opened up this app, and it says something about straight sex talk from gay guys or something. I can't remember, but something like that, right? Straight sex talk from gay guys or whatever. And so I'm like, well, let's all right, let's go watch that. And so we're in there, and I'm dressed, and we're sitting there, and they start off going, all right, let's give it up for the lesbians in the room. And we both look at each other, and we're like, okay, you know, all right, let's give it up for the bisexual. And look at each other and go, yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, they're going through this thing. How about the straight people? We both raise our hand, and I was just like, wow, this is what a variety of experiences, literally that we have. But what a variety of experiences there are out there. What a variety of personalities and support. And the group was, fun. And, the show, I don't even remember the show one way or the other. There was too many other things going on and too many other things planned. But I do remember how fun that was. But I remember that being a moment where I was like, oh my goodness. Literally, we just honestly about raised our hand for about 5 different, identities that we kind of fit into in some realm. But that was really fun. And I remember when we got out of that, when we came out of the show, we were, walking around the casino, gambling just a little bit. And, it was just fun. We were enjoying each other's company. We started kissing a little bit. And next thing you know, there's just a bunch of people. There was just some people that were appreciated, a couple girls kissing right there, I guess. But, just hey, you guys have half an hour to come up to, just all these funny comments, and people were just coming up like, you guys are amazing and this and all this encouragement. And it didn't feel weird and awkward. At first, we're like, wow, no matter how this goes, it's our reality. So we're going to own it. We're going to show up. We're going to do our thing. We're not going to get stressed out by everybody else. They're going to make their weird comments, and we're going to live our magnificent life. But the truth is, they were so good. They were so supportive. The valet person was great, and they'll break your leg getting out in heels, and oh, sorry, and the whole thing. So I think that was probably one of the better experiences for me as well, for sure.
Is that getting anything interesting? Oh my gosh.
Talk to me.
We got 700 followers on TikTok.
We do?
Yeah.
700 followers on TikTok. 300 more, and we can live stream on TikTok next week if our career can last that long. I think that we're in this for the long haul. We should be here for several more days, several more episodes. That's great, guys. Thank you for the support. That's incredible. 700 people following us, that don't even know us yet, but at least are saying, hey, go get it, and that's wow. Has there ever been a time in your life? I've never had a time in my life where 700 people have said, hey, I got you, one way or the other. Even if I don't agree with you, I'm going to support you enough to do this. I don't know that I've ever had 700 people support me at one time. And that's really special. Thank you for that. That's fantastic. Are there any other questions while I do this?
No, but last night when we were reading some of all of the comments, it took us a minute because we were pretty overwhelmed with how beautiful the comments were and how just, I don't know, we just never thought or dreamt this, because I don't know. But Husafu said, I have a question. You guys are married. Allyssa, do you consider yourself straight?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Meaning, I don't know. I've never really labeled myself. Like, let me answer this a different way. And I don't want to take anything away from anybody else's experience and what represents them and how they identify. I personally am attracted to females. And so, I consider myself straight. However, when we're together as a couple of females, it would look otherwise and it would feel otherwise. And it's so beautiful and so perfect and so congruent. So I don't have a label maybe that's when I'm them. Hey, let's go have a them experience. I don't know. I don't have a label, but I do consider myself straight. That's a good question, and that might not be the answer for most transgender people. I don't know, but that's a great
I've
question.
had that question asked to me, and I'm like, well, I'm straight when I'm with Kevin, but when I'm with Alyssa, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I just, yeah, I'm lesbian. Because, like, isn't that like what people portray to women as? I mean, I don't know. And people always say, have you ever considered yourself lesbian? Have you ever had lesbian thoughts? I'm like,
I'm having one right now. I shouldn't have said that.
so, I lost my anyway, we are blessed to just go out as who we are at that time.
Thank you, baby, for being so
Yeah.
amazing that way.
My friends ask me that. My kids have asked me that. It's a valid question.
Are there any new followers, or are we still at one?
No, we have a few watching right now.
We do? All right.
Yeah. Anyway, well, talking about your guys' comments too before I just want to say how grateful we are for that and how appreciative we are, just because we get so nervous, and I got nervous anxiety every time we come on, the second time we've been on, but you guys have made it easy for us to come back just because of how welcoming you guys have been, and
for sure
supportive, and
the comments are beautiful. The comments are so beautiful.
Yeah.
The support is so beautiful. It makes me feel like I'm not supporting other people as much as they're supporting me. Like
it's like a guilty feeling too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to receive more support on you, but why we're here is to support the community. The purpose of us being here is to open up dialogue and to give perspective that people could use and understand in their people. Whether or not they're for it, the more they understand, the better support they're going to be able to give. I believe.
Yeah.
For sure. Any other questions?
I'm doing this. I'm scary. I found that I need to go buy more clothes.
Hey, you're with the right partner for that.
Oh, that's a good topic to talk about.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Talk about dressing.
Well,
talk about our shopping experiences.
Well, being with a transgender girl, I am very lucky because there's never a time that I get what's the word, reprimanded, or hey, you bought another pair of shoes, or hey, why did you buy shoes and a purse? And well, it's got a match, and with Alyssa, I'm always encouraged, well, if you have shoes and a purse with your outfit, then you better get some jewelry too. So I'm blessed that way. I have, the partner who understands why girls feel the need to have so many things and so many sparkly items, and it's easy to shop for my spouse too, because most of the time if I like it, she'll like it too.
It is a different experience altogether, a different maybe appreciation. Oh yeah, hang on. Is it better? If I move it a little bit closer, it might be better.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say the ratio is? My boy clothes to girl clothes You know, outside of suits, you know, I probably have a dozen suits, right? Because I wear a suit every day. But as far as regular boy clothes to the girl clothes that I own, would you say I have how many more times girl clothes than boys clothes?
I don't know if the number goes that high.
You know, it's probably it may not be 10 times, but I probably have 5 times, 7 times the girl clothes I do boys clothes. Don't you? Would you agree with that? I mean, if I got my boy section is this big, my girl section is all of this big, um, and that seems extravagant. But you know what? The guys don't understand that it's different in girls' clothes. It's so different because in a guy's clothes, you know you could gain 20 pounds, you could lose 20 pounds, and that t-shirt's still gonna work. That sweatshirt's still gonna work. You're still gonna wear those pants, right? Regardless of what you gain. And girl clothes are not like that. Every 10 pounds is a shopping experience, because the way the girl clothes fit, it's just different, 10 pounds and all of a sudden buttons are pulling and zippers are smiling, and the difference between sizes, just one size when that's what your clothes are doing, it's the difference between you wish, you know girl you wish and girl you go, right? When things are fitting well and things aren't pulling but it's still stylish and whatever, and so every 10 pounds, so I would say I've got 3 sections of clothes, right? I got my fat clothes, right? Say when you're the heaviest that you've been or you are, then you've got your skinny clothes when for that half an hour that you got down to your lowest weight, but in your mind you were there for a long time, and so it justified all this because that's where you're going to go back. And the more clothes you own at your lightest ever, the more incentive it is to get back to that weight, right? So you're going to buy a ton of stuff here even though it's not wearable, and then you got the section that you're actually using, which is not, it's not fat clothes, but it's kind of harder to kidnap clothes, right? And your goal is always to get back here, but you got a certain amount of clothes here that you're going to constantly replace because it's not really where you want to be. But anyway, so you've got to have these huge sections of clothes because your weight does fluctuate, and zippers and buttons and the cuts. Girls' clothes they're made to show every 10 pounds or less. Guys' clothes were meant to be worn, until they just eventually fall off of your body, right? And then your wife buys you new clothes. But, that's the deal.
Hi, Phil Stream. Sorry you had a migraine. I hope you feel better.
Oh, that's not good.
Hello, Sriracha Queen 911 and Gahusafu. Somebody said, I wish men had more options to wear clothes.
Right?
It's true. It is easy to shop for a guy just because it's, your waist size. You go pick it up. You don't have to try it on. In girls' clothes, you could have one size in one style and a different size in another style.
But I wouldn't say that that's true for me, meaning that it's easier to shop for guys.
Well,
girls.
Waist and
right.
That kind of thing.
Right. For me, shopping for boy stuff, it's just done. I walk in anywhere, and what percentage of my clothes do you think that you personally purchased, that you bought for me? Because you were just
Kevin?
Yes, for Kevin, that you just said no more. I can't see you in that shirt one more time. I brought you a shirt and pants and belt, and look, here's some shoes. Right? What percentage of my clothes do you feel like you purchased for me?
Probably 90%.
Right. Well,
and at least, and I'm probably with you when you buy the other stuff.
I mean, it's well over half. I mean, it could be, I was thinking like 75% of the stuff that I own, boy clothes, you purchased, and of all of these clothes I have in the closet, I bought a lot of stuff online. It's just easier, right now to buy stuff online than to go fight with somebody about dressing rooms, and it's interesting, I bought so much stuff online, and I have never looked for a man's piece of clothing online. I don't know that I've ever said, oh, I'm going to go look at this suit or
Mm-hmm.
shoes or shirt or pants. I don't know that I ever, even one time, have got online and looked at boys' clothes. And so, when I need a new shirt for work, a dress shirt, I walk in whatever store is right there. I see one at work. I just buy it, and that's it. I'm just done with the whole experience. It takes me no time at all. If I need socks, those ones will work. If you're not putting on what you want to wear, then anything will work. Anything will work. It's when you care what you're putting on, right? And you've got racks of dresses, and you got racks of blouses, and you got, all of these things to go through. Now that's an experience. Shopping as Kevin, that's well, what shoes will work. Great, I'll take them. It's not about price. It's about will they work? I'll take it. So it is interesting that I've never like shopped around for any boy clothes. I don't know ever. I mean, hey, hon, we need to stop and get this. We stop and get that.
Somebody said that they bought suits online. You would think that would. That's so funny.
What's that?
Just buying boy clothes online. Hi, Anissa. Good to have you back. What is your favorite place to shop? If as Alyssa, do you have a place, or is it more online?
A lot online. I would say probably the majority of clothes that I own, that I purchased, what I went into a store and purchased, probably from either Dillard's or Nordstrom's Rack, or even like Ross, TJ Maxx, that kind of stuff. I like the variety there, but the truth is, when they have this Dillard's annual sale, I bought so many things there, and at Nordstrom's Rack that it seems to be places that have a lot of variety. It's hard as a trans person. It's very hard to have a style. You can't have a style because there's so few things that fit your shoulders, fit just your body dimensions, and so you're buying stuff that fits, not that matches. And so it's not always as easy to feel amazing when you're not wearing what you want. You're wearing what will fit your body the best you can, and you piecemeal it. You look like Joseph in his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, whatever the deal, because you're just looking for pants that fit and just looking for a blouse that will fit, that will still come in, and the sleeves are, so there's so many variables that have to work that it's hard to have a style. You just become grateful. You become grateful for whatever pieces will work that you didn't have to send back or ruin, trying to make them work. And that's a reality as well. I'm gonna try some fake lashes, and I'll do some contouring, and then we'll put on a wig. Is that okay, babe?
Yeah, sounds good.
But yes, the shopping experience is very, that's a different experience, and we do enjoy doing it, but it's not always comfortable, depending on where you are in dressing rooms. And in fact, what we were talking about today is we may go shopping, and as Kevin, get a bunch of Allyssa clothes that we want, and then go to the dressing room and just stand in line in the boys and just walk in there with the whole, how many items, these 5 dresses, and just go in there and document that experience and what that experience feels like for the worker, and what their reaction is, and how they respond to that, and what the people around respond to that when I walk in. A men's dressing room with 5 dresses, is the mom who's standing there waiting for the 6 or 7-year-old kid to come out, whatever, is she gonna panic? What does that mean to her? So we're gonna document some of that stuff, because these are real scenarios every time you want to buy something. Are there some comments, babe, or anybody joining us that?
You guys' stories are more interesting than the season of The Bachelor.
Oh, is that on now?
And Lisa says, you guys need your own show. Oh my gosh. Train wreck.
Hey, we don't say train wreck anymore. One of our loyal people said, "Hey, it's not a train wreck."
You're right. You're right. It's not.
It's a train ride.
Be interesting.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. We've had a lot of fun experiences. And you know, some of our most fun experiences are because we were together and we were in it, you know, to support each other. But people who don't have that support, man, it's not a good experience at all. And sometimes you can only have so many bad experiences before you quit being interested in experiences. So that's.
Oh, you got it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I didn't know if you needed scissors to cut it off.
No, but the lighting is so bad in here. Okay.
It's keeping me warm.
Yeah. You know, I see in the news that there's just so much going on with the transgender stuff, and there's so much vocal, there's so many strong opinions, you know, with some of the personalities, whether it's Joe Rogan or Candace Owens or, you know, Ben, um, what's Ben's last name? Anyway, you know, there's so many strong opinions, and there's so little information, there's so little understanding, and I just want to get to some of them and just present a little different scenario or different options so we can have a different discussion. I don't know that we're asking the right questions because we don't know enough information to even ask the right questions. And you know, these are the conversations that I would like to have. You know, because some of these policies really affect a lot of other policies. Um, and you know, sports is one of them. I know that's a hot topic in the news today in several different, you know, articles, different athletes, different groups, you know, discussing the transgender people in sports. And you know, this is a hot topic and it's a sensitive topic, and I have views that are probably not probably don't align with some of the transgender community, um, because my agenda is different. You know, I transgender is about identity. It's about this is the energy that I want to portray. I want you to know that I'm the most comfortable in this energy. So treat me as though, you know, I have this energy. That's really what it is. You know, if you're a trans man, you're saying, hey, I'm capable of more. I'm capable of you know, you can treat me different because I'm capable of doing different and being different, and that energy is something that I was built for and I was wired for, and I'm capable of defending it. You know, and the feminine energy is just as strong, you know, on the other end. Both of them beautiful, both of them magnificent, just the way that you feel about you and your identity, you know, but it's about identity. And, you know, the struggle is protecting people's identity and letting them be who they need to be for their health. Because everyone should get to pick who they get to be, right? That should be one of the basic laws. Hey, you were born, so now guess what? You get to figure out who you want to be and go be it. Go be it great, right? And then by the way, you get to love who you want to love. So go find that person and go love them loyally. And everybody who doesn't agree with that should have those rights taken away from them and see if they change their mind. You know, sports is tough. It's a tough thing for me to talk about. I'm glad I'm not the one making a policy on it. But for me personally, sports is less about identity and more about ability. Now, from a transgender's perspective, you know, yes, it is about when people say, hey, wow, my cousin has this disability. And I always say, whoa, disability? No, this is an ability. It's an ability. You know, I have the ability to walk in this world and appreciate it and love it and grow in it. And it's not a disability at all. It is an ability. So, you know, it is an ability, but sports is less about identity to me. And it just opens so much criticism and so much suspicion for me. You know, I think that we're asking the wrong questions when it comes to sports. I don't think we should be asking should transgender be able to play with, you know, girls. The question shouldn't be about transgender people at all. That's identity. We let people identify how they want. The question is we should be how do we eliminate the unfair advantage? Not of transgender people, of everybody. The question is how do we make it a level playing field for people who are interested in competing at this level? How is it a level playing field? So, you know, my problem with The sports is, I went through a different puberty than most girls. So, it wouldn't be fair for me to compete in a physical thing with people who didn't experience the same puberty as me. So the way that I feel, yeah, you can compete in sports with the people of the identity that you want to portray as long as you experience the same puberty as that person. So if you experienced a female puberty because you blocked your testosterone and so you have a similar build and body type and strength and mass and density, and you don't clearly have an unfair advantage, I think you should get to go and compete and be as brilliant and as beautiful and as strong as you can be. But if you went through that, then how do we level the playing field? Like what is fair? Do we just stop everything and say, okay, now the rest of you girls, we're gonna close the season for 5 years. We're gonna let all of these girls take testosterone for the next 5 years, and then by that time it should be somewhat equal to what you've experienced, and then we'll come out on the field again and duke it out. Like that's not reasonable, but is that fair? So, it's not that I want to take anything away from the transgender people that want to play sports. I get it. You want to show, hey, I'm capable of so much, but at risking what? Because it's creating suspicion. Of course, these people just want to get in the locker rooms with our daughters and this and that and do these crazy, and it's creating suspicion that's making the other parts, the important parts, the necessary parts, the critical parts, you know, it's taken away from that. It's distracting that, and so I don't. That's a tough subject for me because gender identity is so much about identity and sports, and that is so much about competition and ability. So identity versus ability. I don't feel like fighting a battle for abilities. If you're great at that, then be great at that. But it's only an issue for another 10 years anyway, right? Because 10 years from now, all the people will have experienced the gender that they're comfortable with. It's so common now and so understood now that the kids will be able to go through the puberty that's right for them. Their lives will be more congruent. Their body types will be more congruent. Their thinking, their experiences, their friendships, their circles are going to be much more congruent, and it's going to be fair. The question is, what do you do between now and then? Well, gosh, there's so many transgender people out there. Just go compete, I guess, with them. People who are on the same page as far as strength and as far as life experiences, as far as all of those things that make competitors competitive and great, and be them perform at their best. So I mean, I know that's not what a lot of transgender people would want me to say, but the suspicion, and this is where the criticism is coming from the news, and it's distracting from things that are going to hold people back in their identity because they don't have the ability to be really good at softball or whatever it is that they're insisting or demanding that they get to play right now. I think that as a community you got to say, listen, I wasn't born at the right time to compete with the cisgender people, but I was born at the right time because I'm going to be strong enough to set the right example and the right precedents and help people understand the real situations, so everybody below me gets to have exactly the life that they pick, that they choose, and they can master their craft. So all of our paths are different, and you know proving how competitive and how able we are with cisgendered people on either, it just doesn't seem relevant with identity and the identity issues that really need to be addressed and understood so that we can have the freedoms and safety and security that we need. That's all. That's all. Okay, now this is the brutal part of it. Listen, I explained last time. My eyes are weird. I clamped this little thing on there. It's very gentle. I let it hang. It's so gentle. It's so light. It doesn't do any damage, I hope. And then I get to put my lashes on. So let me try it. If I didn't let it sit too long. I have this habit of talking a lot, and babe, what do you think? Any I know that you've been very quiet when you and I talk about that because it is such a sensitive thing, and you don't want to take anything away from anybody or diminish anybody's experience. But experience at what price? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Is it important that this person's identity get to do this, or is it important that
Well, I agree with you with the puberty part. If you've gone through that puberty and you want to compete, I think it's just the fairness of it. But I also have a daughter who played rugby and she played with the boys, and she was bad A out there and taking the guys out, whether or not the boys were just letting her because they were insecure or worried that they would hurt her. It's a hard thing.
oh,
You just want everyone to be happy, and you know society right now is weird. We just don't, we can't make everyone happy. There's just no way, and we're allowed to have our views, we're allowed to have our opinions, and I'm on the fence with both of them. So my honest opinion, we just, like who said, we have to find ways to come together to move forward versus pushing each other apart all the time. And it's hard if we're pulled in different directions that we want to go or are familiar with.
yeah.
We want to see everyone succeed and we want to be fair, but at the same time, we can't give everyone trophies. There's got to be a winner and a loser. And
Hey, the truth is, I don't care if we give everyone a trophy. That's fine. That part doesn't bother me at all. We just can't let things become unfair for everybody to protect the things that don't really matter. And it's not about trophies. It's about having a level playing field. And it's hard to have a level playing field in physical things when different puberties were experienced and did different things to our body. That's all. It needs to be on the up and up. That's my take, and I know that's not a popular take, but I'm trying to advance a life, not defend everybody's right to go prove how physically capable they are against people that experience a different set of muscle building hormones going through the body. That's all. I'm not beating anybody up, and I know I'm going to just lose half of our viewers, but we got to be careful, or we're going to put the entire group, the entire community in danger by demanding stuff and making everybody suspicious of us. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that.
who said if his daughter ever started boxing, I don't want a person who went through male puberty in a ring with her. No, no, no. It's fair.
Yeah, that's
fair. I wouldn't want my daughter either.
And maybe unless they, if they sign up for it, and I know that hasn't Ronda Rousey, didn't she fight some guys or something at some point? I mean, she's awesome. Like, she's bad A.
I wouldn't want to fight her.
Dude, I wouldn't fight her.
Girl or a boy. Sheesh.
Heavens no.
I would encourage it if the person wants to, but I would also be, I'd let my daughter know, hey, this might not go the way you think. Although girls can put their weight into it. So.
Well, and the bottom line, there's co-ed stuff, and there's time that girls may say, hey, I am as good as the boys. I can compete with the boys. Totally. And if they want to step up to that level and compete at that level and accept what comes from that, and they want to be treated just the same as the boys, then great. Be willing to be treated the same way and accept and surrender the outcome of that, whatever that is. But if you just want to know how good you are, how good you stack up against other people your age and your size and at your development level, then you should have a place to do that. There should be a venue. There should be a field that's out there that's level. That's what I think.
I agree.
But there's so much. There's so many trans people out there. It just, if you really want to compete and show people your abilities, it wouldn't be hard to create a trans league of anything. Bowling, tennis, wrestling, boxing. It just wouldn't be that hard to create that community. And maybe that's something we do. Maybe we create a community like that of different activities where people can come and just really show their abilities.
Yeah. Who said, but for a boy on the other end of the fight sports thing, if a trans person steps into their ring, it would be very hard for me personally not to feel obligated to go easy. And I've heard that many times from the boys on the rugby field.
No, I have wrestled a girl. And it was very awkward. I was much younger. I was probably in junior high. It was a freestyle tournament, and I wrestled a girl, and I did not go. I mean, I beat her, but I did not go 100%. I did not throw hard. I did not go in with this blunt force trauma mentality at all. I went in with an idea, with the attitude of, okay, don't hurt her and don't make her look stupid, and and I beat her and I walked off, and good for her. But I also don't know that made me perform any better. I don't know that was a rock that I could hit myself up against to make myself better either. So I'm not discouraging her. I'm not dissuading her. If that's the deal, do it. But there is another piece of that of, some people are going to go all in, and some people are simply not going to go all in, on that. And I think I might feel differently about, girls and how they should be treated. And, my daughters don't open their own doors, or my wife. That I take out the garbage. I do all of the dirty stuff and the heavy stuff, because that's what the guy does. Because that's what dad does. Because that's what the person who's going to accept that masculine role has to protect the person who's agreed to fulfill that feminine role. And that's an interesting dynamic in my case, because even when I'm dressed, I'm going to open the doors, I'm going to take out the garbage, I'm going to do those things, but I sure understand the other role. And when we went out with our friends, and there was me and my wife and my buddy's boy and girl, it looked like three girls and a boy, but having him open the door, I would let other people hold the door open for me. And I accept that with enormous gratitude and appreciation, because I respect the difference. I'm not trying to homogenize the genders and just make us a genderless society. The opposite is true. The reality is we have a bunch of little boys who don't know how to open the door, who don't know how to respect a girl, who say use the most unbelievable language in front of the girls. They don't know how, when they get on a date, to be a gentleman, and all of the etiquette. We have that now. And it's more important on a date to document what you're eating than just to concentrate on how you're behaving. And so, trust me, I'm not into blending the genders. I'm into picking a gender and being brilliant at it, and respecting it, and showing people why that is such an important part to play in society. That's all. Okay, babe, I think I'm going to do a little bit of contour, and then we'll put on the wig. How are we doing time-wise? Okay. Do a little bit of contour here. Contouring is a love and hate thing. Now, mostly I love it, but occasionally it doesn't come out exactly the way I want it. But it always comes out. And that's usually enough for me. And then we'll put on a wig. Which wig are we going to use? You are? All right. You I had considered putting my makeup wig on earlier, huh? Once I guess I got talking too much on that deal. I like to I push it in. I push this in instead of brushing it across because my face doesn't seem to hold the makeup very well. Like it, I don't know. I have Teflon face or something, and it gets hot. I got hot Teflon face. So when you have hot Teflon face, you gotta kind of push it in and then set it. I'll try to blend this in just a second here. Because I'm wearing a wig, I'll also contour around the edges of my hairline so it blends in with the wig a little bit more. So I'll always go up here, and I know that even girls who don't wear a wig also blend this in. But as far as wearing a wig goes, it's very important to help the blending process of the wig and your natural hairline. So I'm just going to do this real quick, and then we'll put the wig on. Any questions? Any new people? You know, with with all that sports talk and bathroom talk, I'm not sure we're gonna get our 1,000 subscribers on TikTok anymore.
That's not true.
They've gone too far, but hey.
Anissa asked if you tried primers.
You know what? I have tried some primers. I haven't found the right primer yet. That's such a good question. Thank you for asking. It seems like the silicone in the primers always like build up and then they kind of roll when I'm putting on my foundation things. They kind of roll and create layers. So maybe I'm putting on too much. I don't know if my skin's not holding it or if my skin's too hot for it. But a lot of the silicone primers have proven to be very difficult for me. So I stopped. I've got this really old wrinkly skin. It's very thin now. It's old. It's wrinkly. And so what I found is the fewer layers, the less, the better it is for me. The better it is for my skin. The better it holds. The more natural it stays. So that's why I don't. But if you have any suggestions as far as but listen, you've got to try this because this is going to work with all face types. I would be interested in that information.
We'll try everything once for sure, just because everything's different for everybody's skin.
Thanks, Lee. Okay, it's too little. That didn't go on very well. I think that looks a little. Looks like a tarantula MMA contest, and legs are missing, and
Anissa said to try setting spray. If it make it last longer.
Do
you have one?
I do have some, and I do that. Thank you for reminding me. That's such a good idea. Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little highlighter. We'll do some wigs. Wig time is always my favorite time. Almost nothing makes me feel better than lashes, nails, and wigs. So next time I'll probably have and lipstick. I do like some color on my lips too. But wigs, and I'll show you some different wigs we have. I think I have around 16 wigs. Not all of them good. Most of them not really that good at wigs, but so many of them are just fun wigs, cheap wigs. But it really gives you one of the best things I love about being trans is the variety. And when I want to have blue hair, I'm gonna have blue hair and pink hair and big lips and different eyes. I love this. Thanks, babe. You're amazing. Hey, thank you. All right, let me just do a little super glow because I'm so glammy. I'm super glammy. Ooh.
Gotta make up people on Twitch.
Oh, that is really nice.
Could maybe help you figure out the whole setting spray and stuff. That's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, it's a great idea. Hmm. I like that. Ooh,
Highlighter's the best.
what is the best?
I just want to use it so.
Yeah, you should. You see how beautiful that is?
I
Mm.
know, it's pretty, very glowy.
Very flowy. Okay, let's do some wig time.
Sam
Oh,
just said hi. She
Sam.
was gonna come over when they started making dinner.
Oh, maybe next time. Sam is our daughter and just so supportive and so sweet. Maybe one of these episodes coming up, we can have the whole family on here and just talk about, I can introduce everybody and we can just talk about our experience as a family, having a non-traditional experience. And I mean, it's so great. I can't wait to share my people with your people. It's gonna be just the best ever. I'm kind of a bragger that way, but
Sam said, my mom tried on some of the wigs to make me think they were hers when I was little. I thought she was going through a phase. You know, what we do to cover our tracks.
that's really funny.
You want me to grab it for you?
Yeah, should we do this?
Yeah.
Let me take this off.
Sorry for the stabbing. Wigs are hard because even though it's real human hair, fake wigs don't get as staticky as the real wigs. If anyone was wondering.
This is a wig. I use this wig right here a lot, just when I'm putting on makeup, because I love to have hair on when I'm doing makeup. So a lot of times I'll put this wig on just when I'm doing my makeup.
And I put my hair back when I do my makeup.
Which one in there?
There she is. So cute. Cute class. Beautiful thing.
This is great. So this is the greatest. Wigs are amazing. So are there any questions? So now I can actually talk to.
Somebody asked Andrew, is it weird sharing this experience with the world?
Ooh, what a good question.
I've had it to myself for so long. Yeah, I was nervous for many reasons, for not only for myself but for Alyssa and the kids and family, and then I had to put those things aside because even though it's my experience as well, this is an experience for Alyssa that she needs to help people. And I've seen that the help that she gives and portrays, and how she portrays herself, it's made me more comfortable and confident knowing that we're here for each other. the kids have been really good and supportive, and without our kids' help and support, I don't know if we would be here right now, because we would want to basically, as parents, shield them until they're ready. But it's fun. The whole dressing experience was at the very beginning was really hard, because as a wife, I fell in love with Kevin, and I was seeing her transform. And we have a new follower. I can't read that far away, but welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Bailey Doomy. Sorry, Bailey Doomy 1991 says it looks good.
Oh, thank you, Bailey.
Yeah.
That's so good. Thank you.
But helping her get dressed has been something that I've had to try to remember how I feel when I get dressed up. Remember, as a woman, we don't feel sexy in sweats and a dirty grandbaby spit up t-shirt, but when we put on our makeup and our lashes and our cute dress or t-shirt or whatever, we feel better. And I want her to experience that too, because it just makes all the difference. Anissa wants to see your wig collection. We'll have to do that someday.
Yeah. So I have a whole cabinet or cupboard. It was a big desk that closes, and I've converted it into to just a wig closet. So that what that does is that keeps all the dust off of the wigs. Also moisture will make your wigs go flat. And I do have some wigs that are real human hair wigs, and so these wigs can be upwards of $800 and more. And so yeah, it is fun just to have a bunch of wigs, and a lot of them are just so cheap, and it doesn't matter what happens to them.
Bailey said you're ready to rock the runway. That's really cute.
Yeah, thank you. It really is. There's maybe little something going on with my system. Guys, you got to understand that. Wow, we're not techno people at all, and so putting this together, we're trying to do it the right way. It's so cute.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah, thank you.
Bailey said, "Love you."
Oh, that is so cute. Thank you so much.
Cute.
Thank you so much. Was there any?
Switch to the other camera.
Let's take a quick look at this one here. I'm sorry. Let's do this one here.
It's been fun to see people's comments and how I can see how it's making her feel and be more confident and more excited, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Sam said she loves your cute smirks. We can tell your true self.
That's so sweet. That's our oldest daughter, and she's just, that's so reassuring, and so important that the kids are on board with that. And it's not that I could have done anything different if they weren't on board. We know this because for 23 years, we never asked them to be on board. And there were some dark days. There were some tough days, hiding it from everybody. And especially our kids, when there's so much evidence of it everywhere. And if there's not some evidence of it somewhere, then I'm miserable, and I'm so sad, and I'm so incongruent and dishonest with myself. So it's just been such a blessing to come out to our children. And quite honestly, I'm glad that we didn't wait till they were all 18.
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't sure if that was the right call, because these are the really important years, and you're figuring out who you want to date, and who you want to marry, and what you're willing to tolerate. And I didn't want those tolerances to change and those expectations to lessen because of how I feel and what makes me feel valuable. And so we weren't gonna tell them early, but I feel like we would have sacrificed several years if that were the case.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the comments as
Mm.
well. True says hi. Love seeing the True smiles.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
to
you.
all of our techno difficulty people, technical difficulty people who are not very good at this stuff at all. But
No, no. So, maybe next week we'll have some TikTok streaming going on. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, we'll come back here. We sure appreciate everybody being here and asking their questions and just wanting to know more so that we can act better. And it's not about me. I don't have any answers, but I have a perspective that will be helpful to some people in them making their decisions for their people. And I just want to at least give that perspective because that's really all I can do right now. I'm going to live this way, with the support, no matter what. But if I can get other people to see how beautiful it is and how not suspicious and how not deviant and dirty and just how beautiful, man, you don't know how good it is till you see somebody really come out of their shell and be authentic. And when the outside feels like the inside, there's a peace and there's a vibration that literally is healing. And it's so nice when you don't have to spend any of your healing energy defending who you are or defending, your choices, to other people who will never understand and who really don't care to understand. And so I thank you for being here and thank you for letting us share these moments with you. We worked so hard to get this far, and we didn't come this far to only come this far. And we want you to keep going with us. So we'll be back on next Monday. It's not Monday, is it?
yeah,
It is Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and figure that out for every time zone you're in. But thank you for the likes. We're going to try to post some more videos this week, just some more family stuff, just more day-to-day living stuff. And, just let everybody another inch into our lives so they could see how normal and how exciting and how ordinary blissful they are. So, thank you for tuning in and checking back and if something's valuable, maybe you can share it with whoever can use that information. Anything else, love?
Bailey mentioned your picture in the background. We'll have to talk about that another time because we're kind of running out of time. But thank you. And Lisa said it takes a lot of courage for this, and kudos to you guys. And thank you.
Well,
That's
yeah,
nice of
that's
you.
so nice. Hey, we have 23 YouTube subscribers. That's incredible. That's
So
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys are
thank you
awesome.
so much for coming on and doing that for us.
It makes it go by fast.
So fast.
So thank
We
you.
appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, babe.
Thank you. You look amazing.
No, you look amazing. Thank you for
you.
your help.
Of course. Great.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.